The following is for 2008 Math 125 Department Final. In this video, we'll work on number 38, 39, and number 40. Number 38. Write an equation of the line that passes through the points 5, -8 and 4, 5. Write the equation in slope-intercept form. Now, the first thing I will do is to find the slope of the line. Okay, now let's first call this the first point and this is the second point. Therefore, the formula will be, well, let me write down the formula first for the slope: y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The y of the second coordinate, 5, minus the y of the first coordinate, that's 5 minus -8, over the y of the x of the first, the x of the second coordinate minus the x of the first coordinate. This will give us 13 over -1, or this is -13, right? Now then, from here I will then know that in the slope intercept form it will be y equals to -13x plus a constant b. Now then, how do we find that b? I will plug in either one of the coordinates. I think I will plug in the second coordinate, 4, 5. The y is 5, the x is 4. Now I will use this to solve for b. 5 equals to -52 plus b. So 5 plus 52 equals to b. 57 equals to b. Okay. Now, in other words, the equation of the line is given by y equals to -13x plus 57. Therefore, the answer is E. Okay, that's for number 38. Number 39. Evaluate the determinant of the matrix. Expand by minus along the row or column that appears to make the computation easiest. Which one will be easiest? It depends on can you utilize the 0 there. Okay, now then if I want to utilize the 0 there, either I expand through the first row or the third column. Okay, now here I will compute through the first row. Let me write down the determinant that I need to compute first. 1, -2, 0, -2, -2, 2, -1, -3, 4. -4, I mean. Okay, the difference between this notation with the bracket here and this notation with the absolute value, kind of, okay, this is for matrix, this one is the determinant. Again, this is matrix, this is determinant. Okay, now I will expand along the first row. Okay, then I get 1 times the determinant -2, 2, -3, -4, and then the second one is minus -2 times the determinant of -2, 2, -1, -4, and then plus 0 times -2, -2, -1, -3, which is actually not necessary because we know it will be 0 anyway. Okay, this is 1 times the product of this, 8 minus -6, plus 2 times, right? This will be 8 minus -2. This is 1 times 14 plus 2 times 10. That's 34, right? Well, anyway, that's 14 plus 20, right? Okay. Yeah, now this is the expansion along the the first row. Now keep in mind that the sign of the second one here is negative, so it's plus 1 and then minus -2 and then plus 0, right? Multiplied by the associated determinant. Well, anyway, we know then if we use this technique, the answer will be A. You can try expanding along the third column, and we expect to have the same solution. Okay. Now number 40, the last question. Graph the solution to the inequality on the real number line. The inequality is x squared minus 6x greater equals to 0. What I will do first, I need to find the critical points, and that can be done by factorizing the inequality. Okay, so we see that the critical points, the critical numbers, are the numbers that make it 0. So either x equals to 0 or x equals to 6. Okay, now second thing I will do the sign graph. Now, with the boundaries at 0 and 6. Now this 0 and 6 are critical numbers because if you plug it into the expression on the left hand side here, when x equals 0, that's the expression is 0. When you plug in 6 into this expression here, you will get 0 as well. Now the issue is, what are the signs? So this 0 and 6, we call them critical because it partitioned the number line into 3 parts. Okay, now what I will do next is to pick an x from each interval there and see what is the sign. For example, for the first interval, when x, let's say x is equals to -2, you can use -3 or -1, of course. If I plug it into the expression there, -2 times -2 minus 6, that will be negative, right, times negative. The first negative is from -2, the second negative is from that -8. Now negative times negative is positive, which is greater or equals to 0, right? This is positive here. Now let's pick the number in the second interval, in the middle one here. Let's say when x equals to 1. I believe that's the easiest. 1 times 1 minus 6. I basically replace this here, the thing here. I replace the x by 1, and you will see this is positive times negative, right? Because 1 minus 6 is -5, which is negative, equals to negative. We don't really care what will that be. All we care, like the number is -5, for example, right? This it's not about -5, it's about, is it positive or negative? Okay, now once you see negative here, then it is less than it is not less, it's less than or equals to 0, right? And to be more precise, it's actually less than 0. It's negative, come on, right? Okay, and then so this is negative here. Lastly, in the last interval, let me use x equals to what, maybe 10, right? So 10 times 10 minus 6, that will be positive 10 times positive 4. The product will be positive, which is greater or equals to 0. Okay, which means this is also positive. Now from here, then we see that what they want is this expression to be greater or equals to 0, which is positive, right? You want that to be positive. Now which positive or 0? Okay, so which in this interval here, you can see that let me put it here. If I do the shading, this is 0 and this is 6, I will shade this part here because it's positive, and I will shade the 0 also. Okay, because 0, when x equals to 0, it is satisfying the inequality, and also I will shade this part here. You see what I mean? Okay, including the boundary 0 and 6. Now in this case, you see that the one satisfied is C. Okay, but Thomas, the one you use here is you fill up the bubble. Another way to write it is actually the following way. 0 to the left and 6 to the right. We use bracket because we want to include the endpoints. If you don't use bracket, for example part B here, you use parentheses, it means 0 and 6 are not part of the solution. Okay. Now in this case the answer is C. Now with the end of this number 40, that concludes our discussion of this fall 2008 Math 125 Department Final. In this video we did number 38, 39 and 40, but this concludes the whole series from number 1 to number 40. I wish you a good luck in your department final and a better journey, something you can enjoy in the next math class. Bye bye.